Welcome to Chasing Greatness, the podcast where we help you win at work, win at home, and ultimately win at life. Today's Wednesday. If you're listening to this on a Wednesday, you're right on time. If not, it's okay. But today we're focused on winning at home. We do that every Wednesday. Try to drop these episodes to help you not just win from 9 to 5 at work, which is important, but what happens from 5 to 9 outside of work, so to speak, really determines what's going to happen when you get to work. I know a lot of people really like to focus on their work, but the reality is if you win at work and you lose at home, you still lose, I think. So we want to focus on how can we help with some of those relationships at home. So I gotta thank you guys for listening, downloading, sharing with your friends. You're helping make your community around you better, and that makes not just your life great, but really it does help somebody else as they are trying to chase greatness as well. So today we're going to focus a little bit on something we actually talked about a couple days ago when we talked about winning at work, and we talked about the ultimate competitive advantage for a team, a high performance team, is this idea of building community. We think when we've studied the best teams in the world, really, it's what brings a team from being really good to that rare air of high performance that takes them to being great. And so today I want to borrow some of that, and I want to talk a little bit about it at home. So I hope you'll share this with somebody who you care about, and we'll continue to grow the channel here as we try to help people really maximize not only their potential, but help the people around them be great as well. So let's dive in here. A couple of weeks ago, I had a chance to go to a Braves game, the Atlanta Braves here. I live not too far from Atlanta, and it's been a fun several months around Atlanta as we've celebrated the Braves winning the World Series last year. That was a lot of fun. And the night I went was a Saturday night a couple of weeks ago, and I had an opportunity to be there on the night that they got their championship rings. If you've not seen the Braves championship rings, it's pretty amazing. When you read about these rings, these things look like a softball, forget baseball. These things look like big softball. They're putting these things on their hands, and they're massive. These rings are. A couple of interesting things about the rings. One of them is that they had 755 diamonds on the ring, which I thought was kind of cool to celebrate the life of Hank Aaron, who was probably the most famous Brave of all time. And Hank Aaron, if you know your baseball, he hit 755 home runs in his storied career. And so they had one diamond for every home run that Hank hit, among other things. Go read about this ring. It's incredible what they did. I mean, the thing opens up. It's got lights on the inside, a little stadium. This ring is nuts. But they're celebrating Hank's life. Hank obviously is no longer with us. You may not know that, but he died last season during the year. And so it was cool to win the World Series. Big rings, fun night to be there. Now, how did I get to this game? Well, one of my daughters calls me up a few weeks ago and says, "Hey, Dad, my husband and I and his dad are going to go to the Braves game. Would you like to come with us?" And I'm thinking, that'd be cool. And what I didn't realize is it would be cold, because that night we went, it was freezing. I mean, it was about 40 something degrees. If you're in the Northeast, you're probably laughing at 40 degrees, but the wind's blowing, it's freezing. But we did win. We beat the Reds. That was fun. Big 2-1 victory. A lot of fun. Ring ceremony. It's all fun. But I'm thinking about my daughter who knew I enjoy baseball, and she is not a big baseball person herself, but she loves her family. She loves her dad, loves her husband. And I saw, how cool is it that she would think to say, "Hey, you want to come and be included?" And that was great. But something happened after the game that really kind of triggered me to talk about this today. And I want you to think about your family. So we get back to a place where they live, which is right by the ballpark. I mean, they were within 5 minutes of the ballpark. And I had about an hour drive back home from there. And she said, "Dad, I got something for you before you leave." And she goes into her refrigerator, and she's got me this little bitty sparkling water that she had chilled that afternoon. She said, "I know you like these. I got one for you, and I want you to have it on your ride home tonight." And I can't tell you how much that little 8 ounces of water meant to me. It just said, "I'm thinking about you. I know what you like. And I want you to have this to enjoy this. And as we think about our family life, as we think about winning outside of work, I want us to go back to those things we talked about on Monday. If you hadn't heard the episode full, on there with all this, but we talked about building community, and we said that there are really just three little things that pave the way or create an environment for love. And those three things were to know each other deeply. And so let's take that one little 8-ounce, sparkling water, and let's think about how did she know? How did she know? She's paid attention to what I like. And I want to ask you, do you know what the people around your table like? The people that you're in relationship with, the people who you know the best. I always say I want to live my life in such a way that the people who know me the best actually are able to love me the most, not respect me the least. I think when we're intuitive, or we're intentional, probably is a better word. It's not intuitive. She had to pay attention. And so it made me love her more that she would know that's what I like, not just let's just give him what we have. That's not what she did. She had something special for me. And that meant a lot to know, okay, she knows me. Now, when you think about the people around your table, again, how well do you know them? How well do you know what they like? I mean, I've talked to people before, and you ask them about something about their family, and they're not really sure, what do they like? I don't know. You have to ask them, kind of thing. You should know what the people that are closest to you prefer, what they like, what they enjoy. And it's just a beautiful thing when we know each other deeply. The second thing we said on Monday was that they serve each other unconditionally. And my daughter didn't think it was, or didn't expect anything in return. She gave me this sparkling water for the road, even walked me out to my vehicle. And I thought, man, this girl is, I mean, it's just like when I was so proud of the way that her mom raised her. When I thought about it, I was like, this kid is really, as an adult, she's thinking correctly. I would say it that way. And so as you think about your kids right now, don't lose heart. There have been times where she and her sisters, nor my wife and I, been times where all of us are not thinking correctly. But in this case, I'm watching her mature, and I'm just seeing she's thinking correctly, and she's serving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return. And so that's really cool when you think about it. And so as you think about your family and the people closest to you, who right now do you need to serve? Who is it that needs some encouragement from you? Or who is it that needs you to do something for them, and they couldn't hope to return that? If you're a parent, you get a chance every day, right? But if you're not a parent, you get a chance to really do something for someone, and just do it out of a heart of love. Just do it to add value to them. It's really good for when I do that. It's really good because it keeps me from thinking about myself so much. And if you're like me, you have no problem thinking about yourself. What can we do to help those people around us, to serve them unconditionally? All right, here's number 3 we talked about on Monday, and I want you to connect the dots at home here. We said we want to celebrate frequently, and I've been so excited these last few months. Our family has changed into a different season. We've got 3 now grandchildren, which is kind of fun. But the oldest one of those is our little grandson. He's, I guess, 19 months old now, and he's talking up a storm and all this. But my name, my granddad name was my name Randy. My granddad name was going to be Randad. It was going to be. I thought that's kind of different. I don't know any Randads, so I'm going to be Randad. And I'm not Randad. I was going to be Randad, but when he started talking, he's talking pretty quick, and or he started talking a little earlier, and he couldn't get the whole Randad thing. That seemed too hard, so he started calling me Rah Rah, which I was like, okay, that's cool. And they are like, okay, now he can say Randad. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good with Rah Rah. I'm going to be the cheerleader for these little grandkids. That's what I want to do. And they can call me Randad. They can call me Rah Rah. They can call me anything they want to. As long as they call, I'm happy. That's great. But when you think about your family, what are you doing to be the cheerleader for your son or your daughter or your husband or your wife or your aging father or your brother or sister? Like, what are you doing to cheer for those people who are living in a world where they're getting beat up all the time. You know as well as I do, the world's hard right now. And the people that are closest to us ought to be cheering us on. And so I don't know if everybody's going to cheer you on or not. They may or may not. But here's what I do know. You have the opportunity to create value to the people you live with. And you really won't be able to do that unless you value them. If you know them deeply and you serve them unconditionally, you're just adding value to their lives. And then to celebrate them frequently, oh man, how cool would it be for you to be the rah-rah for the people around your life? So I want to encourage you to do that. And then the other side of that coin, we talked a little bit about this on Monday, but there's an old saying that says weddings are optional, funerals are mandatory. And basically what it means is that anybody can cheer for people. It's not done as frequently probably as it should be, but it's honestly a lot easier to be there for people when things are, somebody gets an A on the test, you're high-fiving. But what are we doing to grieve when people are going through? That's why the funerals are mandatory. You got to show up for people when things are hard. Now, hopefully you're not having any funerals in your family this week, but you're going to have hard circumstances in your family. Maybe your daughter's going through something really hard, and you're just like, maybe you're sitting there going, I'm feeling bad for her, but I'm not actually showing up for her. I'm actually putting expectations on her that are unrealistic and they're too high. And I'm making it harder on her, honestly, more than I am making it easier on her. And so just as you begin to think about your son or your teenager, or maybe even your little toddler that's trying to learn something, are you putting unrealistic expectations on your spouse? Or maybe an extended family member, you've got relationships there that they have tension and somebody's going through something really hard. What would it look like for you to be there for them and to even grieve with them if needed? And really just make yourself available to empathize with them and to encourage them and just to love them. And that really is the fourth thing we said on Monday. It's all this is great, but what is it all about? Truthfully, it's about creating an environment of love. And I think the best families I think the best family members I know, they always love first. They give love first. It's like giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. It's like just saying, I'm just going to lead with love. And I love that mindset. I think it's so important. And so if you really want to win at home this week or any week, lead with love. Make sure that you are loving. And love is not just some, I always heard you don't fall in love, you fall in a hole. I think that's true. Love is not a noun. It's not some feeling you have. Love is a verb. It is something you do. And it's demonstrated. I even said this Monday in the business or in the When at Work podcast, is that God demonstrated his love. That's what the Bible says. God demonstrated his love. We just came off Easter recently, and it says God demonstrated his love in that while we were sinners, we were all a mess. It says Christ died for us. And so God could have easily just said, hey, I love you. That would have been great. I mean, it really would have been great, but he didn't do that. He said he demonstrated his love. He sacrificed his son. And so as you begin to think about your most important relationships, what are you doing to sacrifice? That's what love looks like. It looks like, hey, I want to know you. I want to know that you like the little sparkling water. I want to serve you. I want to do something for you that you can't really, you don't have to pay me back. I'm not expecting anything in return. I'm going to celebrate you. And I'm going to do that frequently. I'm going to be your cheerleader. And then I'm going to also grieve with you. Things are hard. I'm going to make sure that you've got what you need to really to know somebody's in your corner right now. Life's hard enough, and so I'm with you. And I think when we do that, we are showing people that we love. That's what love is. It shows people in a sacrificial way many times of what it means to be in our family, what we feel about them. And so I would encourage you to think about those people, become fluent in the language of your family members. I think that's important. Know what they like, what's challenging for them, what's fun for them. Invite them into your world. Listen to their stories. Sometimes we live with people in the same house and we don't know each other at all. I think that's really sad. And I know it's an area where I could do better. I really, it's an area I want to continue to make progress. People have moved away, and I still want to try to get to know them better and appreciate them more. And then who do you need to serve? I mean, it's so easy to be self-serving in our family. We kind of let our guard down. We feel like we need to do that when we're out in public, but then we come home and we let everybody else sort of fight for themselves and serve themselves and be self-serving. And that's not the environment we want. And then we really do need to celebrate each other more in our home lives. I think it's so important. Be there for each other when things are hard. Ultimately, just have this environment, this atmosphere of love. And I think that's the best place to have a family. Now, let me say this. I know some of you are in family situations that are challenging. You may have a single parent home. You may be growing up without a mom or a dad. Some of you are listening to this. I know a lot of young people listen, and you may be in a challenging situation. And some of the stuff I'm describing, you just feel like, man, that's not there for me. And I'm sorry that if you're growing up in a place where you don't feel like you have a good, strong, healthy family life. I know that's really hard, and I really am sorry if that's your situation. But I would say this: what can I do with what I have? What can I do for the people around me to try to create the best environment that I can? And ultimately, can I grow up? I literally believe this. I believe I can grow up, and even though I might not have been handed something, I actually can choose the kind of family that I want as I go forward, and the kind of family life that I want. And I'll just leave you with this one thought if you're in that situation. I like the metaphor here, or the picture I'll use of going to a track meet and being at a relay race. Every time I go to a track meet, and I'm fascinated by the relays. The baton. I think I even have one here. I do. I'm going to slide back and grab my baton off the shelf. So I have my baton, and if you're watching on YouTube, you see my baton. I keep this on my shelf. It's a reminder of a couple of things. First of all, if I'm in that situation where I've not been handed the baton, every race I've ever been to has a lead runner. So somebody's got to start the race, and I believe that can be you. If you're in that situation right now where you don't have a great family life, you can literally do what's right, do what we're talking about here today, and start a new line, a new generation that's going to get this right, or going to try to get this right. And learn all you can, keep trying to make progress. But for those of you who are out there and you are parents, and you are, maybe we'll do an episode on this later, but you're responsible for making sure you get the right stuff into the hands of your kids. Most of the races that I've ever been to, they're won or lost in the exchange. It's not who's got the fastest runners. It's who's got the fastest runners who are able to exchange the baton from runner to runner. And I think in our family lives, one of the things that we underestimate is what it means to exchange our beliefs, our values, all those things, and the things we talked about today, from one hand to the next. And then it just goes back and forth, generation to generation. So Hannah, if you're listening, thanks for the sparkling water. It was great. Thanks for letting me go to the baseball game with you. I remember our first game when you were a little girl, and it's fun to still be able to do some of those things together. If you're out there and you are listening today, let's go do everything we can to create a great environment of love in our homes. If we'll do that, I think we'll be well on our way to chasing greatness. All right. Somebody out there today who needs some encouragement. I hope you'll share a link to this with them. Love to hear your comments, anything you got, questions. Love to respond back to you, but let's keep chasing greatness. We'll continue this conversation. We might even do something for parents on exchanging from one generation to the next. I think that's really an important topic. We might get to that in a few weeks, but let's all keep doing what we can to build the best homes we can. We want to win at work, yes. We want to win in life, but ultimately, we can focus on both and still miss it if we don't understand the importance of winning at home. It's a really big deal. I guess ultimately we want to win at life, right? But we'll talk about that on Friday. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Keep chasing greatness.